Our tornado watch is in effect until 9 p.m. tonight. I call them one-pan wonders. During the first week of April, a stationary front brought up to 4 days of tornadoes and flooding across the southeast and other parts of the U.S. During this time, we had repeated trips to our basement and local flash floods. I don't like storms, and anxiety levels have been high during these days, especially when repeated severe storms with tornadoes trained through for 6 to 12 hours at a time. I consider myself blessed to have a basement, but the real terror comes at night when everyone is asleep. And of course, I usually stay awake during that time. So we had many days of no sleep, or not much sleep. I want to give a big shout out to Ryan Hall, y'all, and his YouTube channel for keeping us calm but informed. Knowing what's going to happen, even though it was a bit scary, really helped me to get through this because I knew where the storms were at all times. Never seen a creek in our backyard before.
We live on a hill, that's rather impressive. Have an 8-foot wide creek here, boys. Puddle's never been in the yard before, nor have we had a waterfall.
Do we have a gutter issue? I think we might now. Wow. I asked God if He would protect us and guide us. I prayed for our community because our community has been hit with many floods and tornadoes in recent years. We did have a huge tree limb that came down and a little bit of water in our basement that George quickly got in control. So I do believe that he did answer our prayers. Life and property was protected, as well as most in our community. So we're blessed and very, very thankful for that. Life is good when the storm is over. You were such a good girl last night. Yes, you were. You knew just what to do in the storm. I love you. I love you. You're my baby girl. You're my little baby squirrel. Yes, you are. There's my Dexter Rooney. You were such a good boy in the storm last night. Yes, you were. You just sat right there like you knew what you were supposed to do. It makes me feel so good to know that you will sit with us in a tornado room during a tornado warning. I am so proud of you. Good boy. Hey guys, welcome to the vlog. It's so good to have you here. My name is Sonia. I live in Mount Juliet and I'm married to George. We have 2 dogs, Maddie and Dexter. And we are having a very stormy week. Oh my goodness. I think we've got a storm system above us that is going back and forth, and it's lasting 4 days. And we just had a severe storm last week. So just been kind of a weird 24 hours. I've been trying to take a little bit of time off from vlogging because I was really behind. I had so many vlogs to do, not enough time to edit. Finally getting to the point where we're caught up. I thought I would go ahead and start another one, but we have just had the weirdest 24 hours. I mean, I got up yesterday. Actually, it was in the in the middle of the night, let's see, 2 nights ago, in the middle of the night, I woke up having some diverticulitis pain. It wasn't really bad, but if you have ever had it, you know that you got to get yourself wrapped around that real quick or it's going to get out of hand. So you basically just have to stop eating. You have to stop eating, do liquids. You know, I've learned I can kind of get away with eating like eggs and rice, broth, you know, really, really, really soft foods. Spoonfuls of peanut butter. I mean, anything to keep the protein up through the day. So I did that yesterday. I didn't have any food for it in the house. George went to the store for me, which I'm so grateful for because the winds were like howling at 45 miles per hour. Actually, it was gusts, but pretty much all day it was very windy, sustained winds of 25 to 30 at least. So I'm happy to say that after, 24 hours of just eating very light, having a lot of liquids, and doing all the things that I do. And if you're interested in what I do, I can do another video on it that is a little more comprehensive than the last one I did. So if you have diverticulitis, you can let me know and I'll let you know what I do. I'm not a doctor, but I'll be glad to share that if there's interest. I am feeling better this morning and I was able to eat egg on toast. I don't have any more pain, so way to work through it. Yay, hopefully it sticks. Right before the storms we're going to roll through our area yesterday, the power went out. The power went out just as George was leaving the house to go to the grocery and pick up Dexter. I want to say I was like 8 minutes from having my video finished in Final Cut Pro. And I don't know if there's any creators out there that use Final Cut, but if the power goes out, sometimes your timeline disappears and there's a way to get it back. I usually have to research how to do it, but when I know there's a storm coming, I try to hurry through it. So yesterday, whatever was on my to-do list, I just blocked it off and made a beeline for the computer to go ahead and get the video done. Luckily, when the power did come back on, and that's a story in itself, my timeline was saved. So I didn't have to search for it this time. I just thought a tree had fallen because, the winds yesterday were so bad. And I waited for a few minutes and it didn't come back on. And I thought, well, I'm sure someone has reported it, but I should be a good citizen and report it myself. Maybe the more people that report it, the quicker it'll get resolved. So I called and the lady said, oh, your meter is fine. You're showing active. And I'm like, well, no, there's no power, so we're not fine. And she said, well, maybe it's your breaker. So finally, when George got home, he checked the breaker and was not the breaker. We called him back. I told him, I said, I want you here by my side, a party of two in case we need to convince somebody to help us here with storms coming because, you know me, I have anxiety. My phone was about to lose charge. I say it was about to lose charge. It only had 50%. But when you're watching storms, watching Ryan Hall, y'all, and having to, make phone calls to the power company and family members or whatever, your 50% is gone like that. So I was rambling around trying to find chargers and battery chargers that, are already charged that you could pull power from. But oh my gosh, when George got home, we called them and they're like, well, I'll have to report it to someone else and they'll have to come out there. And I'm like, will it be tonight? Yes, ma'am, it'll be tonight. At least they were unlike the cable companies and the internet companies that we've used before, where they put you on a waiting list and we'll have to let you know when. They actually were Johnny on the spot. We were without power for 4 hours, but they came out right away. So I don't think it was enough time to lose anything in the fridge or the freezer. Hopefully not. We tried not to open anything. They got us hooked back up like right before all the storms rolled through. So we had all of our electronic devices to watch storm coverage with. So I don't know, it was just a weird afternoon and day yesterday. And then the storms started rolling through. They were just hugging our area, and they trained hugging our area all night, and it's like, well, I'm going to bed. I gotta have some sleep. So we went to bed for about an hour. I got up because I could hear the storms getting closer, and I can't sleep when I know there's storms coming. I stayed up for 2 hours waiting for those storms that were just, maybe 5 miles away to actually get here. And when it did, it was a tornado warning. We had all kinds of tornado warnings to our west. And George usually does not want to be woken up until it is hitting our area, right when the warning comes out. But last night, since these were long-range tornadoes that could spur up and stay on the ground, I went ahead and woke him up. I also knew we had the 2 dogs to get downstairs, didn't know how they would do. He went ahead and got up. I was really proud of him. He wasn't just poo-pooing me because of my anxieties, which he knows I have, but he actually did get up and watch the weather with me for the few moments that we needed to see what was going on. And the tornado warning came for our area. We went downstairs in the basement. The dogs were like the best I've ever seen them. We had them on their leashes because I didn't want them running around if anything happened. And we were all contained in a little 5-foot area. It's a little concrete barrier thing that we have in our basement. And they just sat there. They just sat there like they knew what was happening and they knew it was serious. So we came back up after, we were watching the cell go by. The warning was still on, but we could tell the cell went by, and we came back upstairs. We hadn't been upstairs 2 minutes before the next one went off. So we went back downstairs again, and then it wasn't really any big deal. So we came back up again, and then it started going off again. But our county's really big, so you have to really look and see where the storm is in our county. After a while, we watched it because all these storms were lining up to come through all night long. And finally, they shifted a little bit south and we went to bed. And I was woken up with thunder and lightning this morning. We had tornado warnings to our west. We had a severe thunderstorm warning for our area. But we fixed coffee. We watched the weather. We watched the damage reports and stuff, drank coffee, and went outside and saw that a big chunk of our tree from the front is down. I had predicted it. I knew it was going to happen, but it was a different part of the tree than I thought. It's a Bradford pear, and when they get big, the winds just split them in two. That tree is just about done. Then all the flood warnings started coming in. I think we've had 4 inches of rain, and there's places in our town that floods pretty quick. Our yard, with that kind of rain, we have a river that runs through our yard. This morning we had a waterfall where it was going down into the neighbor's yard, which is kind of down below us. We're on a hill above them. Just weird. And the bad part is we are under a tornado watch right now. It's supposed to go on for 2 more days. That's what we've been up to. I recently did a bucket list, and I have all of my plans for the quarter, actually the next 2 quarters in there. I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. That's too huge of a word, really. It's kind of I can't think of a proper word, but it's kind of excitement, but yet overwhelming, because there's a lot there. There's a lot you want to do, and you can't do it all at once. And sometimes you look at it and you're like, which one should I do first? And in reality, I really don't have time to do any of it. It just seems like the day-to-day, whatever rhythm that we've gotten into, it's just really, there's only 1 or 2 extra things that I can do in a day because the videos take up so much time. It's like having another full-time job. I don't know that I'll be able to sustain that pace with 2 videos a week. It might do me well to just do one and be able to have many hours back in the week. I've been talking about that and thinking about that some, but I was trying to do separate videos when we do something like a declutter. I don't know, it's just something I gotta figure out, and we'll get on with this week and we'll take you with us, whatever it is. It's a random week. I have no idea, other than I know it's a stormy week. So welcome to our stormy week. Well, George is out here working on this tree. He's a lumberjack. He's a lumberjack and he's okay. He is an okay guy. It's gonna be weird to keep that tree because it's just gonna be a V.
The Bailey girls really like the idea of turning it into Groot.
Yeah, we thought we would turn it into Groot. Chainsaw, a little bitty one, but it's getting the job done. We were thinking about cutting the limbs off and leaving a tall stump and putting a face on it, leaving enough so that it looks like Groot from, what's the name of the show? Guardians of the Galaxy. I couldn't think of it. Things are starting to bloom. The positive note with all the storms is that it does bring spring flowers. This is our Bradford pear, by the way, which, you know, they're so pretty until they get to be about this size. Well, they're still pretty at that size, but they just don't last. The weather around here brings them down. They're not a stable tree because they just get top heavy. I really thought that one was gonna go, and the next storm probably will take it out, so it's best to just leave a stump and have a Groot, a neighborhood Groot. We will make it cute and hopefully it'll make everyone smile. It's a lot better than having a tree company paying all that to take it out. The peonies, when they decide to come in, man, they come in. They were just coming up the other day. They're going to be blooming here very shortly. The azaleas are starting to bloom as well. Hey guys, I wanted to just stop and tell you a little bit about what I'm reading these days. And I don't get a lot of time to read. I'm really kind of shocked because I thought I would just be a reading machine. But, you know, when I retired, I really only got about 50 hours back into my week. So when you divvy all that out to all of my different allocations where time goes, it's not really all that much time. And that's been one of the shocking factors about retirement. And you all warned me that it would happen. But I am reading more, and I at least have the choice now to say, you know, I'm just having a day where I just need to read, or I just need to relax today. I don't do that very often. I did that with diverticulitis. I just kind of took it easy that day because I was having to eat, you know, drink liquids and soft foods, and it's just a time to be kind to yourself. I've got Maddie in my lap. It's been the strangest thing trying to get good lighting in here. So I'm sitting crooked. My neck is probably going to be hurting when this is over. So I'm going to try to make it quick for you and me. I do try to read a chapter or 2 a day. But one thing I definitely do is do my Devo in the mornings. And my goal has been to use up all the Devo books that people have given me through the years. I'm getting close. And then I'm going to be doing my own Bible studies and some writings off of that. It's all God led. That's just my plan as far as my personal spiritual journey in the mornings. I do want to be fed just like I put food in my body. If you're not a Christian or a spiritual person, you can still be here for the vlog. I'm not in a constant state of talking about it all the time. I don't sit here and preach, to you all. One of the things that I wanted to share was this book that we got when we went to Texas and went to my daughter's church. And it is called The Real You, Fully Alive, Spirit, Soul, Body by Jeff Klingenberg. And a lot of you have been asking about this book. I have been posting some things about my Devo on Instagram. Here's where I am on Instagram if you want to follow. A lot of the things that I post there are just things that are happening in more real time. And I try not to double dip things too much. This book has been really helpful for me. There's just not a lot of sermons or material out there that I have been exposed to. They may be out there. I've just not been around a lot of talk about the mind and the spirit and the soul and how we are made in God's image. People touch on it. They just don't dive into it. Now, the spirit, there's been a lot of studies on that in itself as far as God's spirit and us getting the spirit when we're baptized and things like that. But as far as explaining that how we were made in God's image, this is one of the best explanations that I've ever had, how to be spirit led. So I'm not going to dive into this. I know you all don't want a sermon series, but what I've gotten from this book is explaining how we can be spirit led in our image, since we're made in the image of God. There's the Trinity, God, the Son, and the Spirit. And our Trinity is the Spirit, our soul, and our body. This has also helped me in my anxieties because, that's what I've been going through lately, is just some anxiety with stuff that's happened. If you've been reading the vlog, or if you've been watching the vlogs, a lot of it has to do with storms and weather. I'm just telling you that, and travel, and things that can happen, when you get off your norm, just being anxious. And I'm trying not to be. I'm trying to be spirit led in that avenue, and this has been good. There's a couple of things that this book omits, when it comes to believing and being baptism and being saved. I would just say that if you're a Christian and you read the Bible and you look at what God says for us to do, and you're an obedient person, you'll see the differences. I don't want to talk bad about, this person that wrote the book, but I do think that we are all responsible to see what Scripture says versus what someone writes in their own book. And while most of this is scriptural based, there are, a few opinions in here. So I would just say, if you get the book, just, make sure you read your scriptures and put your own take on things. It's just like anything else on this earth. Do your research. The other thing that I've been reading forever is Kitchen Confidential, and I really would like to finish this in the next few days. I'm ready to be done with it. I appreciate knowing, what happens behind the scenes. This one had just a lot of bad language, and apparently there is a lot of bad stuff that happens in the kitchen. So kind of scary, really. But yeah, I kind of want to be through with this book. So, and if you've read his other books, is the language as bad? Anyway. Okay, I like to do a book on my iPad. It's both on my iPad and on my phone. And if I'm out waiting somewhere, that way I always have a book to read. And it's on the Kindle app. So I'm reading The Unlikely Story by Ali Rosen. I just started this book, and it was one of the April first reads because I'm an Amazon Prime member. and you can get a book a month free. So I have it set in my to-do list. Every month, the first few days of the month, I'll go in and pick my free book. And then later I will pick which one I'm reading. But I usually have one going all the time. Ree Drummond is on my list. It's on the table here, but I haven't started it yet. Kind of waiting to finish Kitchen Confidential before I get into it. I took it to the ranch because I thought I'd have more reading time than I actually did. I've got it ready to go so that I don't forget that that one's next. I get excited when I look at my books. I don't know about you guys, but when I look at them over there, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to get reading. I hope I have enough time in my life to finish them all. I need to get on it, but I'm also wanting to finish all my projects. So I have decided to have a kind of like a coffee table book over here on my reading stand as well, because if I don't, things like this will just sit around and never be read. I'm trying to maybe read a page or two a day if I can work it in, because most of the time, you know, it's easy stuff. You know, it's easy stuff. This one in particular is Biltmore Traditions. And I may have even shown it to you before, I can't remember. I want to get through it because like it's got cucumber mint sandwiches. It's got, you know, it's got recipes in there, but it also talks about the history of what it was like back in the day. Looks like there's a lot of recipes in here. It's mainly a recipe book. Yeah, it does have a little bit of history in there. So I've had this one for a while. Katie and I went to the Biltmore, and I guess I got this at the gift shop. You know, the Biltmore is in Asheville, North Carolina. A lot of us Tennesseans make our way over the mountains of Gatlinburg, you know, and try to do this tour. They have a really good Christmas tour as well. So I bought this book, and that was years ago, and I've never read it. So I am anxious because there's a lot of recipes in there that I think we would like to make, and maybe even some special meals for family like Christmas and things like that. It focuses on recipes that they might have made in the time. That's what's on my reading table. That's that. Back to housework. Hey guys. So George is having a guys' night out. I was invited, but kind of felt like it should be a guys' night. He and his friends have gone to a concert. I'm just staying in and working on all my stuff. I'm gonna be video editing tonight. I do want to read a little bit and watch TV. I gotta check on a family member. I decided to throw together a little meal. We did have leftovers from last night, but I had that for lunch, so kind of wanted a little something different. So I fixed a one-pan meal. Let me tell you, if I say so myself, it is really good. It's kind of a thrown together thing, inspired by, I've watched this travel show by Robert Morales, and it's Free in My RV, I think. I've watched that channel for years because if you know, you know. I want to go RVing. George doesn't. With all these storms around here in the US, I'm not sure that I want to go anymore. But in a lot of his travels, he does these one-pan meals. I call them one-pan wonders. There's been a few times in my life when I thought, what would Robert do if he were fixing a meal and putting it together? So my version of what Robert does is, I had a little bit of rice on hand. Sorry for moving this around. I am just all over the place right now. I had a little bit of rice. It was actually the instant rice in a cup, which, you know, is just quick when it's just me cooking for me. I had a little bit of chicken left over. I had a can of black beans, which he used half of. A little bit of green pepper left over. I had a tomato, just a little one, medium-sized one. What else did I put in there? So I put a little bit of garlic in there and stir-fried the onion up, and then I started on my sauce base, which I put, obviously, olive oil. I put, you know, in the bottom while I was stir-frying the onion and the garlic and the pepper and the tomato. And then to make the sauce, I put a little more olive oil in there. some balsamic vinegar. I put Frank's, a little bit of Frank's in there. And for my sweetness, I put, you know, maybe a tablespoon of honey in there. What else? And then I put chili powder in there. And I put paprika in there. I think those were the only two. And I put a little bit of this. I've shown this to you before. It's a Knorr spice, caldo de tomato bouillon chicken. People put it in Spanish rice, I think. I put that in there. That stuff is good. I'm just a little bit, maybe a tablespoon. I think that was about it. And have just stirred it up. I let the bean juice go in there, you know, when I opened the can, and I cooked that down. So I took a bite of it and it is good. Let me tell you. So yay. Thank you, Robert Morales, for your inspiration for one pot meals. Just kind of throwing what you got in there and adding things to it. But he puts a twist on it because of his Cuban background, and you know, he lives in Miami, I think. So he has kind of a Cuban Spanish twist on things, which I love. It tastes really good. So I'm gonna go eat it now and probably watch a Netflix show, which I'm finishing up Sweet Magnolias. Bon appetit, guys. It is Saturday, April 5th. Oh boy, this storm system that's been draped across the U.S. for 3 or 4 days is about to press upon us again. Also, George's night out last night, he left his wallet in a friend's car, so we had to go get that this morning in a rainstorm. Thankfully, it wasn't severe, but this place was way out there. It's supposed to get really bad, and we are now under a tornado watch. I did not do my hair this morning. Bangs were in my eyes, starting to grow out now a little bit. And I think I might actually let it keep growing because I want to let this part grow out because it does my face some favors. It is really light against my skin, and when I look back at photos, I'm like, yeah, I kind of want that look again. So I was just looking. Our tornado watch is in effect until 9 p.m. tonight. I'm cooking tonight. I have chicken tenders marinating. I've been kind of having fun cooking. It's kind of a chore though, in the way that it takes me away from other things I'm trying to do. So in a little way, it's annoying, but I am trying to pace the time and prepare and cut out the time. And I'm enjoying making the sauces and the marinades and whipping things up. I'm just enjoying it. Look, there's a Dexter sitting on my shoulder. Hey Dexter, what are you trying to tell me, bud? Is there something outside? You trying to tell me we're under a tornado watch? It's okay, bud. We will watch Ryan Hall, y'all, and it will all be okay. We have a basement. We'll run to the basement. The tornado watch is over at 9. So hopefully, we'll be able to sleep good tonight. I'm just ready for this thing to pass on. I think today it's going to pass on. It's supposed to rain some tomorrow. We have 3 to 6 more inches of rain to come. We're going to wait and see if we need to go to church tomorrow or just kind of stay at home because so many areas are just starting to flood. We are already saturated. Big weather week this week, and I really hope that this system puts us on the good side of spring where we can start to enjoy flowers and the blooms and less storms. I've been thinking, where on earth can I move to avoid this kind of weather? And it's like anywhere you go, there's something. Hurricanes, fires tearing through the mountains. Leave it to me to make the list of places and things not to go and do. Yeah, I have signed up to 5 different alert systems. There's the Weather Channel, and there is the iPhone. There's Alexa. Hello, Alexa. What's the weather?
Currently, in Mount Juliet, it's 74 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Today, you can expect showers, with a high of 82 degrees and a low of 57 degrees. Also, there's a flash flood warning in effect until Saturday, April 5th, 3:30 p.m.
So she doesn't know about the tornado watch yet. There's 3 local news teams, and I am signed up with all 3 of their alerts. So, I mean, when there's one alert, I get like 6. I'm well aware of the weather. Probably too aware of the weather. Gonna edit. Take my mind off of this. George has been chopping on the tree a little bit. It's got all the piles started. And weather's about to move in. You can see the clouds back over there above George's head. Yeehaw! Spring in Tennessee. Spring anywhere in the South. Maddie loves the breeze and the sun. She just takes it all in. Look at her. She loves it out here. It's hard to get her to go in sometimes. He just looks for squirrels. Where's your squirrel?
He loves squirrels.
All right. And the dogwoods are blooming. Not quite fully there yet. After these storms roll through, maybe it'll spruce up a little bit. Maddie, no. You're going to sit in Daddy's lap tonight. Either that or you're going to get a bath. He does not like baths. She's a drama queen. Hi, little bit. What are you doing, little buddy? Okay, I'm watching Ryan Hall as these tornado warnings get closer. There is one to our west, so we may have to go to the basement. All right, we're in a tornado warning. We are in our little concrete block in the basement, right next to the saw.
But we're underground.
Yeah, the porch is right up there somewhere.
We got
the doggies. Hi, Maddie. I'll pick you up in just a minute.
There's where the underground level is. So we're like 2-3 feet underground, surrounded by concrete block walls, and we got wine.
Yeah, I just brought the whole box. I'm like, I don't know how long we're going to be down here.
That's my next
If
question.
I don't have anything, I've got my wine
So tornadoes.
and a magazine.
People are terrified of tornadoes. And you know, if one hits you, it's terrible. It's catastrophic. However, they're not that big, so you can dodge them. We're living in a neighborhood that the houses were built in the early 70s, and there's 100-foot tall trees, and most of them survived. You can't run away from a tornado or a hurricane or an earthquake, but you can run away from a tornado.
Hey guys, kind of left you hanging there. We're okay. But they actually changed it to a severe thunderstorm warning while we're down there. And the actual tornado rotation went north of us. So we came upstairs before the tornado warning was over because we could tell on the radar it was over for us. My hair's a mess, sorry. I cooked dinner, but I had to wait until the warning was over. It came through right when I needed to have been cooking. I fixed some marinated chicken tenders in the George Foreman, and I apologize for not getting any pictures. I was rushing through it all. So I marinated the chicken breast in soy sauce and maple syrup because that would give the salt and the sweet. And then I put a little bit of vinegar in there because that would add the tangy, sour part of the taste. And then I put my seasonings in there. I have the weather going on in the background. There's lots of people talking. Tornado on the ground in Mississippi now, I think. Our dinner was really good. Kept the chicken in the George Foreman for about 6 minutes. I turn it even though it cooks on both sides because the top one, for some reason, is hotter than the bottom. But the big thing of the night is that it just occurred to me, we had cabbage, had an apple that I hadn't fixed, and I decided to fix apple slaw. It just came to me, just popped into my head, fix apple slaw. Thank you, Lord. Cut up the cabbage, just pretty much enough for the 2 of us and a little bit of leftovers. Cabbage, apple, immediately put a little bit of lemon juice on it to keep the apple fresh so it wouldn't turn brown. I put apple cider vinegar in it, honey,
Yes.
salt and pepper. I put a little bit of Frank's in it. You know me, I make sure I have all the levels of flavors in there, but I think it turned out pretty, oh yeah, mayonnaise, definitely mayonnaise. So it just made a slaw, but it just had apple and salt and lots of pepper.
Did you spit in it?
No, I did not. I hope I really sleep good tonight. I don't know what the weather's gonna do, but the front end of it has come and gone. I think it's just rain, but the Weather Channel shows storms, so this thing could go back and forth all night. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm tired of storms. I keep thinking, when this storm system is done, have we not paid our dues for spring? We have to pay our dues here in Tennessee every spring. Cannot endure any good weather till you've gone through some bad every year. But this one beats all I've ever seen. It's just the same system that has just been plaguing us, seriously plaguing us for 4 days. And why they don't name these lingering systems, I mean, these are lasting longer than snowstorms and hurricanes. It needs to have a name. I'm going to start naming them. I'm going to start naming these draping systems. That's what I'm going to do. That's my purpose on earth. I'm going to start naming these low pressure systems. Well, it's not a low pressure system. It's just a stationary front. I'm going to start naming them. We're going to call it an A name. I think we'll call it Amos. Might need to call it a similar word, but we'll call it Amos.
I was a stamp collector when I was much younger, so I like to buy the commemorative stamps that collectors collect and use them on mail. I got Hank Aaron, because he's, baseball star. I like baseball. Send a lot of sympathy cards and things. I got the Appalachian Trail because it's soothing.
Oh, that's cool.
But my favorite is Betty White. Got her own stamp.
How about that?
Love some Betty White,
I bet those are popular. Did you order them online?
I order them from the post office. Every time I run out of stamps, I order 30 or 40 new ones to have them here.
I love Betty White.
Yep, Betty White.
Can you imagine me sending that on a sympathy card?
Well,
it might make somebody laugh.
I'll use the Appalachian Trail. But Betty White, if you needed sympathy, would not Betty White be the one to be awesome?
Oh my gosh.
Betty White.
It would make somebody laugh for sure. The storms finally left our area after 4 days of plaguing us with tornadic and severe storm warnings, several inches of rain, and flooded areas in our region. In the coming days, sleep came, anxiety lowered, and peace returned, as well as the sun. The azaleas are blooming, and so are the dogwoods, all erasing the memories of the gray and stormy days. We have to remember that in life, the storms will disappear, the clouds will lift, and peace and joy will shine through. Thank you for watching my channel. You guys bring joy and sunshine into every day. Give me a thumbs up, as it helps push the channel out to others who may also enjoy watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. I thank you for being here, and we will see you next time. Good job getting the tree done.
It was a chore.
I'm sure. You got it done pretty quick.